Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Lasala Kheteng and I'm the training manager at EVL Institute and the business development manager at ActionCOACH TP. We help entrepreneurs like you build commercial, profitable enterprises that work so that you, as an entrepreneur or a business owner, don't have to. We at ActionCOACH call this a finished business. So anytime you're joining us, you're in for a treat. We have a great program for you set up today, where we, as you know, this is one of the third of an 8 months webinar series, where we bring you experts in the entrepreneurship field. So for today, we're talking marketing. So June is marketing month with us, and we're going to take you on a topic that's titled, Take Your Business to the Next Level Through Digital Marketing. And I'm a very experienced expert on this topic. So as you know, at the end of every session, we're going to have a Q&A session where you get to ask any questions that you have to the speaker. So please make sure that you write down those BFOs, those aha moments when you say, this is important, or yes, I need to take note of this or write this down. So please make sure that you engage with us using the Q&A and the panel on your Zoom platform. So just go and ask all the questions. We'll make sure to pick the most engaging questions so that we can have a conversation with you and answer those marketing questions that we have so that this webinar can bring you more value. So if you'd like to also just engage with other attendees as well, please use the comment section. Just send in your blending flashes of the obvious, your aha moments, your learnings. Engage with us. I want to know what you're thinking about everything that we bring to you. So, and at the end of this webinar, we're going to give out prizes. So as you know, on a weekly basis, we give out the following prizes. So the first one is 1,000 Rand cash prize. And then we're going to give 500 Rand MTN data, and then a book voucher by Seth Godin. This is marketing. That's the book that you'll be getting. But in order for you to be eligible to win, you need to first go like and follow us on all our social media platforms and also engage with us. So the 1,000 Rand cash prize is for the person who participates the most and who engages the most of us during the webinar. So as you know, in ActionCOACH, we talk about you give your 100% and we give you our 100%, no 50-50. So the 500 Rand MTN data is for those of you who are connected to us. So the person who engages the most on YouTube is going to be walking away with 500 Rand MTN data. And the book voucher is also an engagement here on Zoom. So that's what we have for you today. And I hope you're excited to take out those pens, take out your notebook, and get ready for the speaker that we have for you today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our host. Our host is an entrepreneur. He's a citizens coach. He's an international speaker. He's a master trainer of entrepreneurship. And he is the #1 ranked action coach in Africa. You know him as the rock star action coach, Thabo Pitsi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cool. Good morning, everyone. I trust that you are all, it's winter in other places, I know, and other people are complaining about heat. So I'm not sure what's happening in this country of ours. Nonetheless, today we are talking about marketing. It is a great honor to be here today. It is a great honor to be hosting the speaker that we are actually hosting. Remember the purpose of this webinars? Now we had COVID coming, and now everyone is actually complaining about, everything, we blame it on COVID, So with that being said, we do not want COVID to be an excuse. Business is business. Business will keep going, COVID or not. COVID came, other businesses went down, other businesses thrived. So now the question here is, why did other businesses thrive? Why did others go down? Look, the fact of the matter here is that business needs to go on. Business needs to happen. The main problem here is that two things. Another business owner knows exactly what to do. The other one doesn't. Hence, we've got this webinars. And I'd just like to start by saying thank you very much to MTN for having bought into this vision that we can actually help the whole country, not just our clients and our students that they are actually sponsoring. Thank you very much to EBL Institute. Thank you, Mr. Cool, to our program director, Mr. Cool, and the team behind. And thank you very much. I know from one of our mother companies, Stage South Africa, our national coordinator and director, and also one of the shareholders in EBL Institute, Mete Riklop. I know she's here. Welcome. And yes, and welcome to the MTN officials. But more so, welcome to you guys who have taken time, invested in yourself, and to come in there. Now, quickly, before I introduce the speaker, let me quickly give you value. Just remember two things. I just want to position this to make sure that you guys are, you know exactly how to go about this, because this is the problem. They said if you want to hide anything, put it for a black man, put it inside the book, which is a lie. Now, marketing, two things, guys. Remember, marketing, all you do where marketing is concerned is to communicate and to educate, right? You communicate whatever that you are selling or whatever that your solution to people's problems are, and then you communicate and then you educate. You educate people on how to buy. You educate them to buy from you. You educate them not to go to the competitor. That's what the marketing does. Even if it's an advert for 10 seconds, you need to cover those. Okay, it's not selling. That's why when people say, I'm marketing, but my product is not selling. There is marketing, they're selling two different things. Now, quickly, before I get to our speaker, let me just quickly show you something. Let me share with you. I'm going to share my screen with you. To do this. All right. Now, this is from my coach. My coach likes sharing this with us or with her clients. As you can see, if any of you has attended the Hashes webinar, she likes sharing it there. Now, a lot of people, you spend your time, okay? You spend your time doing what? In your business, okay, there are two things that happen, two functions of the business. There's a cost function and there's a profit function. That's how I call that. The profit function is exactly 80% you should be spending in your business doing what? Marketing, selling, and delivering to the clients. So if anything at all, your business happens when marketing, sales are happening, and when you are delivering. That's where your business is happening. The rest of the stuff, it's only 10%. Look at that. The admin, the communication, your HR, your business admin, your strategic planning, those are just 10%. That's why in my company, they know as well, we talk about this language, we talk about your critical essential, critical non-essential. Our critical essential in the business on daily basis, those three, marketing, sales, and delivery. That's what will give you cash flow. That's what will bring cash into the table. If you are spending your time doing admin, if you're spending your time strategizing the whole day, if you're spending your time writing invoices and quotations, that is admin. It needs to only take 10% of your time. And then the other 10% obviously is personal development, which is exactly what you're doing now. That is why our webinars are 1.5 hours, not really more than that, so that it's only 10% of the time that you have during the day. When you live here, 80% spend it on marketing, on sales, and on delivery. That's exactly how business works. Successful businesses, that's how they go about it. Just remember those 9 heads of business, right? And then where do you spend your time? Okay, so today we're talking about marketing. Let me make it nice and juicy for you. I'll share another screen with you guys. Now, at ActionCOACH, with our clients who are with us, what we are actually doing with where they are concerned with the marketing is that all we want to do is we want to create raving fans for your business. What are raving fans? These are the people, let's say, for example, you're a brand, you're a car brand, and I'll mention the one that I'm my favorite one. I'm sure my clients and students are going to sit there and say, we know exactly what he's going to say. Yes, be my wife, BMW, So raving fans are these people, they would take your project, exactly. They will take your product, they will go out there, they'll advocate for it as if it's yours, it's theirs, They literally market your business as if it's theirs. You find people who fly, hey, me, I prefer For the purpose of the discussion, I'll say SAA, but we know no. People prefer M-rates, for example, So you want people to actually be raving fans for your business. You want people to go out there and just tell everyone about your business. Even those who didn't know, they become curious and then they start searching for you. And then that's how you actually bring down your acquisition costs. That's what, when you have raving fans, now you have that business that depends where market is concerned on two things: referrals and word of mouth. Now, when it's like that, you see clients coming in, you don't even know where they come from because your clients are busy marketing for you and they're just sending people to you. So what does that mean? It means you don't need to market that drastically and robustly. People are coming anyways. And those who are in, they become more raving fans. You end up not having to have marketing, which is not true. All right. So there's that something that we call letter of loyalty. I just want to quickly take you through this before I bring up our speaker in the next coming few minutes to show you exactly why all this marketing. Remember, this is how we work it out, right? If you want to create loyal, raving fans for your business, people who will stay in your business, people who will talk about your business, people who will listen, who will market for you. All right. And how does it get? We market, and this is how we do it. You follow this ladder to get up there with your business. Okay, first of all, that level one there that we call suspect. This is your target marketing, okay? But you need to target correctly. You need to understand your target market. You need to be able to segment them and then say, who are they? What gender? Where do they live? How much do they earn and all that? You need to target them correctly. If you are selling to the wrong target market, it means nothing. You can have the greatest product. If sent to the wrong target market, it's a waste of money. So the first level is suspect. And then in between, you need strategies for this suspect that, okay, here is something that I am actually sending out there. Here's my solution. Here's what I'm selling. Now, I need to send it out there to the right target market. What happens? The people who start responding to your advert, either it's on Facebook, it's a campaign. When they click on that, you start getting that. It means those people who become curious, who says what, why, where, how, they become your prospect. And what do you do with those prospects? You need strategies to convert them into a shopper. Now they come into your business, they buy once. You don't want people hit and runs, guys. Let me use the word. Hit and run is not a good word. One night stand is not a good word. What do you want? You want marriage with your customers. Why? Because repeat business is equals to profit. They buy once, you spend money, marketing money to acquire them. Now you want them to stay in your business. You don't need to spend twice for them to stay, basically. So repeat when they buy for the second time and you did not spend any money to acquire them, meaning that you're already making profit out of them. All right. So how do you marry them? They come once. When they enter, to make a quick example, if you go to Pick and Pay, you buy once, the first thing they ask you is that smart shopper, do you have? No. If you don't have, they give it to you. So now you are getting money back. You want to go buy so that you can get money back, and then you become a customer. So a customer is somebody who came back to buy, more than once, But then as they are customers, you don't want them to actually leave and think about anybody else. You want them to stay with you. Even in a relationship, once you guys acquire each other, you want to stay with each other. You don't want your partner to be looking elsewhere. And what do? That's exactly what you do in business. You think about your clients. What do I do? And we've got scientific and proven strategies to say we will use this strategy, this strategy. That's what I'm saying. If you look at shops like Pick and Pay, it's okay, smart shopper, they buy, they get money back. So they know every time they keep coming back, they accumulate this money. So meaning that for what you give, you get something back. And that's how they keep you as their member. That's why you are, the loyalty program. That's why you're a smart shopper member. That's why FNB, you become for whatever you use, you become what is the word there? What is my word? Freeze. In the morning, it's still cold. It is freezing, e-bucks. They give you the e-bucks, Everywhere you go nowadays, it's loyalty. That's how they keep you as a member. Now, as I'm talking, thank you very much. As I'm talking, think about it in your business. Do you have strategies? Do you have tools to keep your people as customers, as members? Now, once they are members, then you want to actually convert them to become advocates. Advocates are those ones, like, for example, with me right now, the brands I'm mentioning, I'm their advocate. I'm their review fan. Bank, I spoke about FNB. Car, I spoke about BMW. There are a lot of brands that I can actually advocate. And then as people start talking, especially somebody like me, right now, there is actually over 100 of you on this webinar. then I'm busy talking, mentioning these brands. Maybe some of you, you think you're buying a car. Immediately you are thinking, why is this guy? Maybe let's say, for example, you admire him. You say, why this guy admire loves BMW? Because I trust him, I admire him, I'm gonna go check. Do you see what's happening? I'm already marketing for that business. This is exactly, that's why we say, when you look after your client, you want to make them raving fans. You want them to advocate for your business. Looking after your clients will look after your business. They will go out there and bring you more clients. Okay. And people, they will be referred because they trust the clientele that you have. Now, I think this is just the summary of what I've given you in terms of where marketing is concerned. But hey, listen, EBL Institute students, ActionCOACH clients, this we've spoken about it. That's why your businesses are doing well, because we understand this. So to our guests who have joined us in the webinar across the country, that's the summary I've given you. But today, now we are nearing to the time when I will introduce the speaker. Today we are going to talk about digital marketing. I've just given you the overview. Why do we do this? What is the goal at the end of the day? How do we get there? Digital marketing, very important. Digital marketing, I think this is one part or the head of the business or portion of the business that you have seen during COVID. It has actually everyone else. If you are not on digital marketing, what happened to you? How are you going to reach people who are locked in their houses? They have their TV, they have their phones, and that's all they have. They can't go outside. How will you reach them? So you see why it's important. We're talking about 4IR, fourth industrial revolution, that is coming right now, or that is here, that has been here actually, So how does it work? How do businesses work? Now, digital marketing, trust me today, is the most relevant part of business that you need to have, that you need to understand. If you do not have this, you are lagging behind, and in no time, you'll probably be out of business. So with that being said, that is why we have brought you this important topic. Now, I am going to introduce to you the speaker, but I just want to say, just before I do that, well done, first of all. You know what? For investing in yourself, let's show you exactly how to go about it in order to take your business to the next level. For those guys who say, I'm not on Facebook, I don't like social media, but you've got a business. Your clients are on social media. You don't need to get there personally, but you need to know how to put your business out there and do business and make money. You shouldn't be spending time posting unnecessary stuff if you are business people. You should be spending time posting about your business. And putting a post is not marketing. Marketing is directed. Hey, look, I nearly went into the content that I'm not supposed to go into. Now, guys, I'm telling you right now, sit back, enjoy yourselves, because you are in for a treat. You are going to get practically exactly what do we mean by social media, by what is it? How do you use social media? How do you use the whole digital marketing? How do you post? How do you what's the word? How do you schedule? What tools can you use? If you know what you are going to know today, I'm telling you right now, and you start applying it, your business will not be the same in the next. All right. With that being said, I am quickly going to give you a quick background of our speaker today that we have brought for you. Now, this is somebody, first of all, who has been working for big corporates. This is somebody who has been working for, like I said, big corporations, working in companies, national footprint or national, doing marketing nationally for companies. She's got at least, I think, 3 or 4 degrees, she's done, what is it? The arts, she's done architecture, she's done interior decoration degrees. She's and I must say, you see, like, for example, ActionCOACH, Southern Africa. She's the marketing director of ActionCOACH, or she's been the marketing director of ActionCOACH, Southern Africa, ever since I knew ActionCOACH. And if you go and Google it and go through whatever ActionCOACH is all about, this is the kind of work that she has brought me. Obviously, she's got all other clients that she's made great. And I'm proud to say I'm also one of the clients. Now, ladies and gentlemen, she doesn't come cheap, but thank you very much to MTN for partnering with us to make sure that we bring you the best. We have checked each and every person, what they do, and we just want to give you the best. And today, in this specific topic, you will realize at the end of the session, we don't have better than the speaker that I'm about to introduce to you. She's a child of God, very passionate about ministry. But when it comes to the corporate world as well, you know what? This is somebody, no nonsense, gets into the office, she gets into work, she knows exactly what to do. And isn't that interesting that a child of God who is a Christian masters digital marketing? I'll leave you with that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I'm going to sit back and relax. You do the same as we listen for the next coming 45 minutes. Just remember the rules. Put your questions into the chat box, and then later on, we will have the Q&A. So when the speaker is talking, type your BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious things, aha moments, like, oh, she said something I know. Share it with us, participate in all that, So with all that being said, while you are participating in the chat box, because there's prizes waiting for you, I'm sure you can do a lot with the 1,000 Rand cash. The book that we're giving today, it is the best. Listen, Seth Godin, that's the father of marketing. All right, it's the best one. So with that being said, I am going to bring our speaker and hand you over to none other than Charmaine Brett, all the way from our other beautiful country in the Western Cape called Cape Town. Charmaine, welcome, and over to you.
Good morning, Dr.
Yes, the presentation. There is Charmaine Brett for you. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Pizza. I just want to say thank you for inviting me to be a guest speaker here today. It is an honor and a privilege, and I'm excited to share with everybody today. I've got a lot to share with you, so bear with me. My presentation will be shared with you afterwards, but have a pen and paper ready as well so you can take notes. So I'm going to dive into this very quickly, and by all means, share your questions. I will do my best at the end to answer them. Okay, can you all see my screen? I trust you can. Let me just take that out the way. Okay, all right, let's just talk about, my intro is take your business to the next level with digital marketing, but I think sometimes it's a bit of a shady area or gray area for some people to really understand what all does digital marketing entail, and what doesn't it entail. I think a lot of people think it's just social media, or they think it's email marketing, or they think it's web design, or they think it's maybe SEO a little bit. They don't realize that it includes video production, which is becoming one of our biggest marketing tools from a content perspective out there at the moment. Content marketing, and we're going to talk about all these things. Branding. You wouldn't think that branding is really part of your digital marketing, but it really, really is. So saying that, it's very, very important that you get your branding right. I see it so often with people, they spend a lot of budget on branding in a physical space, and they don't make the congruent efforts in the digital space. And then there's a disconnect, and that can be very damaging to your brand in the long run. So it's really worth investing your social media or putting your social media and all your other content that you're creating into the hands of a professional that does branding correctly. What is SEM, you might ask? I'm going to talk about that a little bit further. It's search engine marketing, also known as not SERP, yeah, SEM, and app development. That's also digital marketing. And that's the thing, it's all about perspective. I really want to change your perspective a little bit today to think about these tools in terms of, as Dr. Peter said, what is your end goal of marketing? It is to educate and to communicate with your consumer about your product. It's all very well to have very nice looking branding, and it doesn't say the right thing, and it doesn't tell them what your product does. Communication is first and foremost above everything. And in a business, as he mentioned, there are 9 hats. And you'll see right at the top is marketing, because the age-old adage of marketing 101, supply and demand. Don't market if you can't meet the demand. And if you've got a whole consignment of whatever it is you're going to sell, you're going to need to market in order to get rid of it. It's no use having a shop full of stuff if you don't market it. So it's imperative that you communicate effectively. So firstly, we're going to talk around social media. A good example of content marketing, just by the way, is blogs. And I'm not really going to touch on that further on in in this presentation because we are very short for time, but I've got so much information. Each one of these is literally a module. Content marketing, for example, is a blog. And a blog on your website is this is a gem. It's an extra layer of SEO on your website, which we will talk about just now. And when we do, I will explain to you why. Okay, but firstly, we're going to touch on social media. Right, I'm going to be very practical today about a lot of stuff. So social media, I know a lot of people do it on the run. They try and think of content to quickly write, and then they'll end up spending an hour or two a day, if not more, doing it. And it can be very stressful, and eventually they give up because it's not structured, it's not strategic, and it's jolly exhausting. So I just want to show you a little tool or three that we use. I'm not going to speak on a strategic level about social media. I'm going to speak very practically. This is an example of a content calendar, okay? This is the final end product over here. You don't need to read it. You can just really look at the colors and the layout. Here is the initial structure, shall I call it. Now you can see that these colors over here, which is content, correspond with these colors over here. The pink represents Instagram because we've picked those relevant to visuals that I know from the topic is visual, and we can use it on Instagram. The blue is LinkedIn, and that we've taken onto strategic days of the week for what's posting at the best times and not overwhelming people, etc., etc. And the other is general, that we carry it across to say this is the Facebook calendar. Twitter's one is slightly different because the content is slightly shorter, but my point is the structure on how you do this. At the top, I've cut that off, but each little color represents a topic, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'll see there's 7. Then we literally start again, but you don't have to do exactly that from there onwards. So my point is, let's assume you have a business. I'm going to speak about this one in a coaching sense because I was with ActionCOACH head office for a long time, and this is actually a screenshot of that content calendar. So we used to talk about external articles. We had a topic called company culture. We had client testimonials, and all of this is relevant to you too. You should have the same kind of content in your calendars. You would have evergreen content. You would have helpful business tips. So let's assume you pick 7 topics because there's 7 days of the week. If you decide you're going to write content for 7 days of the week, if you need to, sometimes you don't, sometimes you need to be writing more. But my point is this: if you, for example, look at the evergreen content over here, you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 evergreen posts for the month. So you bank them together. So you go from here to here, you bank them together, and then you write specifically for that topic. And then there'll be a corresponding visual with it, if there is a visual. Evergreen content is something that never dates. It always stays green. Where do you find us? What are our working hours? What is our business culture? What are the different products we service? Who are our clients? Do we have different shops all over? Have we got more content that's products that are new? Is there something in that field that's evergreen? It will, looking at the content 6 months from now, it will still be relevant. So that's evergreen. So we need 4 posts. And the point is, when you write 4 posts at a time, it's really quick and easy to do it. Then you move on to the next slot. There we have podcasts. Okay, so we shifted this across from our blogs and our white pages to podcasts, and we wrote relevant to how many. Then you take that content and you spread it out. So there we had the evergreen, and we spread it out across the month. And when you write 4 little posts at a time around the same topic, it's easy, it's quick. I will talk about call to actions just now, which is your links over here, and you populate your calendar like that. Once you've done that, this process can maybe take you a day, maybe 2 days, if you learn to do it and you do it faster and faster and better. And then you can take this calendar and schedule it, because this is the whole month. There's the 2nd of March right down to much further down, but I just screenshotted that area. You can then use posting tools. This one, for example, is Buffer. And there you can see your whole month at a glance. You can see, I just screenshotted this yesterday for you guys. These are the posts that have already posted. These posts over here, all you need to do is copy that panel there and that panel there, or the copy piece and the link. Select those two blocks, say copy, go to your calendar and paste into the block on your calendar on the relevant date, add the correct image that you need to do, schedule it for the time you need to do, and leave it. Move on to your next one, move on to your next one. So you can fill your whole social media calendar in a matter of 3 days for your whole month again. And then you don't need to worry about it every morning. Yes, you need to do content management and check in every day if people are commenting and asking questions, but you don't need to stress about creating content all the time. Okay, now let me just really make sure that there's this around social media. Social media is not there to, I see a lot of people have a perception that I'm going to put one post up and I'm going to get one client or one sale or whatever it is. And that's not the case. That's not the purpose of social media. If you can imagine right far back ago, ladies, I'm not so sure what you gents were talking about, but ladies, when you get married or when you're still looking forward to getting married, or your sisters or your moms did, they spoke to each other. Who did their flowers? Who did their dresses? Who made their cakes? They asked around in their circle of friends as to who the best person is, who's got the best price, who can make what they want, who does a specific design, etc., etc. This is what social media is. It is word of mouth. It is the same thing. So don't expect to use this as a tool as if I put a post up, I'm going to make a sale. This is here to build a following, to build a tribe. It's there to build trust in your customers so that they will look at your website, which is your shop. This is where people share their information as to what their services are, etc., etc. But on social media, they want to know who you are. They want to find out what kind of company you run. They want to see the kind of things you do inside your company. So make it as real and as authentic as you possibly can, because there's a principle in marketing called know, like, and trust. The know you can find on your website. The like is what they will see on social media. And if it's good, authentic content, they will trust you, and then they will convert to a customer. Okay. Some of these packages like Buffer, that is called a scheduling suite or a dashboard suite, is Buffer, Hootsuite, Creator Studio. Now, Creator Studio is free and it's on Facebook, okay? If you're on Facebook, just go into your URL and type in Creator Studio. Your Creator Studio will come up, which will give you all your previous posts. It will give you the ones to come for Facebook and for Instagram. You can schedule there as well. It's specifically, there is no other tool on the market that will allow you to schedule or even post Instagram TV videos. You have to post them from there. Okay. And if your videos are over a minute, if you've got a little video that's info video or something, if it's over a minute, it needs to go onto IGTV. And remember, don't put videos that are 20 minutes long advertising your product on. Once you start viewing them and you look at your insights, you'll see if you're getting 18 seconds, 30 seconds, make sure that if you are posting videos about who you are and what you do, they must be short, and the beginning part of that video must be the most punchy information that you can share. Okay, I like these platforms, specifically Buffer and Hootsuite, because I think you get as the most value for money. A lot of them compare to, you can add more people and you've got more features, but you can only have, say, 3 social platforms, and then and it will only be within a certain group. So only one Facebook, only one Instagram, etc., etc. But if you're running a business, that's all you really need, I suppose. But just shop around. And this is why I'm sharing this with you. This is a very, very powerful tool. It has helped me so many times in my life. Capterra. It is a website that does comparisons. It's a review website. So I can go into Capterra and type in social media dashboard, and up will pop Buffer and Hootsuite and Zoho and Creator and Sprout and Later, and you name them, they'll come up, and then they can do a comparison, a comparative spreadsheet for you to say, this is the benefits you'll get out of this one. This is how much the costs are. These are the cons on the situation, the pros and the cons. And then there'll be lots of reviews as to people's customers that will, when you read the reviews, I don't ever shop, not even to a restaurant, without reading a review, because you'll read people's reviews and then you'll see, oh, but there's a common thread here. The service is really bad, or the food is not great. And in this case, it's difficult to use. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, but it's difficult to use. Other people say it's very slick, it's wonderful, but it's crazy expensive. So you can get a general feel of other people's experiences. So start using review sites. It's very powerful if you aren't already using them. Okay, so my question is, from a marketing perspective, with you on digital platforms already, engagement tactics. You need to employ various different tactics. Going through this process of Action Club, I know that you will be taught, if you have not already, the different kind of marketing tactics. I think there's, in 5 ways, there's over 100 tactics, which is, you know, email, social media, Facebook, etc. Each one of those small ones is a tactic. Strategy is a different thing. We can talk about that in another time, the difference between a tactic and a strategy from a marketing perspective. But what are your tactics? Are your clients following you, firstly? Are you following them, more importantly? Tag them in your posts and comment on their posts regularly. And when you see your customers and your suppliers having wins and the impacts that you've made in their life with whatever service or product you've got, share it on your social media. There's no better way than for somebody else to say it for you, which I'm going to get now. We're going to get to a marketing checklist, and I'm going to go through that briefly that I can at another point, perhaps thresh out with you. And first and foremost, like I said, authenticity is key. It is so important. Gone are the days of pseudo advertising that we put the shiny front side forward and they never see the situation behind that. I want to say, in terms of copywriting, be authentic in your copywriting. Speak to people the way you would speak to your friends, perhaps. Decide what the tone of your business's language is and work with that in your copy. Make sure it follows through. I find often people meet somebody, they talk to them personally as a client, they speak on a sales level. And when you look at the language that they're speaking on social media and the kind of personal relationship or sales conversation and marketing conversations they have in person, you would never think it's the same person. So consider that. Okay. I saw somebody post a little earlier about SEO, and I'm quickly going to touch on that. Great. Let me just close that. Okay, SEO. What is SEO? Gee whiz, you know, I'm going through this process and I should have actually done that a long time ago. Apologies. Okay, so what is search engine optimization? SEO is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. Examples of those are Google, Bing, Yahoo. Yes, YouTube is a search engine, and other search engines. Okay, so how it works, here's your website, which, as I said to you a while ago, you should view your website as your shop, right? Whether you are a practice that is selling a service as a medical practitioner or a lawyer, or you are selling service products, services, or you are selling a physical, tangible product, this is your shop. This is your business. This is your practice. Okay. So direct traffic is people that know about you. So for example, your business name is Charmaine Harvey Suits, let's say, for example. And I have people that know about me, that have dealt with me before, and they've had a word of mouth experience, and a friend says, she makes really great suits. Get in contact with her. Her website is Charmaine Harvey Suits. They know you, and therefore they come from you. They come to you they go onto Google search and they search Charmaine Harvey Suits. Wonderful. But what about the people that don't? That's like very minimal traffic. What about the people who found you by accident? Okay. They need to get a suit made and they look for suits, Stellenbosch, and then because you've a business in that area, and this is where SEO comes in, when Google finds enough traffic around your website, and knows that you're in that area, then they will start listing you. And that's SEO is all about the things that you can do in order to get your website up the ranks onto page 1, that they find you in an organic traffic without you having to pay for it. So you can also pay for it. That's called search engine marketing. And I'm going to, I think I have a slide in here to show you. They will type in something very generic at the top, okay? And who's ever looked at their Google list? You type in something at the top, and the first 3 or 4 items has a little black word next to it that says ad. Now that's paid traffic. You found them. So you went and you created a list. You created that ad. You made a target market. You created a list of keywords that people will, every time they use that keyword, you will pop up in that list. So that when they type in suits Stellenbosch, you'll be on the list. Okay. Optimizing SEO helps to maximize paid efforts and help those organically searching for you. So when we talk about optimizing SEO is not your paid traffic. This is search engine marketing, as we mentioned right in the beginning. This here, paid traffic, is search engine marketing. Optimized SEO is looking at the copy on your website. It's looking at the different tags on your images, the names of your images, the keywords that you use in the body of your website and the head. And I just want to show you what Google looks at and the different things that they rank how important your website is, or how relevant it is, let's say rather, to push yourself up onto the front page of Google, on the first page to land. And SEO is not just about your website either. It's about your overall digital footprint. And that's why I'm talking about SEO. SEO looks at how many different social media channels do you have. It's not to say you have to have every single one. So you need to find the line of, I need to find a relevant one that works for me. Am I best based on Instagram? Am I, as a business, better to be on LinkedIn? Am I on Facebook? Am I finding my most traffic there? What other ones? TikTok? Are you finding the right traffic on? I'm astounded at how popular TikTok is in South Africa, and saying that why we are not using it effectively yet enough for marketing purposes. There's so many little tactics and tricks in there that can be used, but it has to be appropriate for your business. So what I'm saying is that with all these efforts that you make, if you have a blog, if you have email marketing, if you have social media, different platforms, if you have videos on YouTube, all those things count for your ranking factors in Google. And these are the things. They look at your keywords. They look at the domain level keyword agnostic, because there's different places you can put keywords. Your copy in your website registers as keywords. A blog registers as keywords. The back end of your website registers as keywords. Meta tags are a keyword, which are things that you would attach as a little descriptor to a page on your website. I'll show you now. There's your social metrics, user usage and traffic query data. So if they find a lot of people are looking for you, and the connection is correct, in other words, the match between your keywords and your body copy and what they're actually searching for match, and they stay. They look at that and they quantify it by your bounce rate. So if you use all the wrong keywords, firstly, you're wasting your money if you're paying. And secondly, if they keep on bouncing because they land there and they find it's not the right content, you're going to lose points here. And I mean, it's not a massive factor, but it is a factor. The biggest factor, page level link features, page rank, trust rank, quantity of links, anchor text distribution. Now you see this anchor text distribution, that is something within a blog. The quality of link sources. So linking the right things to the right things, because you can't get anywhere on the net if you don't follow a link. So it just needs to be legit. And that's the biggest judgment factor next to domain level authority features. Quantity of links to domain, page rank. Yeah, okay. Page level category and content features, topic modeling scores. You see this once again, topic modeling scores, excuse me, on content, and content quantity and relevance ties very much to your blog. Because to explain this blog thing to you, if you have a website and you have 5 pages that explains what you do, and you're perhaps an authority in your industry about stuff, and you write a blog once a week. Now your website has only got 5 pages. You can only put 5 pages of copy in. And you can only do so many videos on Insta or on, say, YouTube or wherever you do it. You can repurpose the content, just by the way. Go and look for a tool called Descriptor to transcribe your videos into blog content, because otherwise you spend years making content. You can, the key word in content lately is repurposing. So my point is, a blog page itself can stand as a website page. So when you write blog after blog after blog after blog, you're adding layers and layers every week. 1 month, you can literally double up the relevance and the punch of your website, if you understand what I'm saying. And then hyperlink them to relevant things out there. So if you're talking about Celine Dion and her makeup tutorials, then in the body copy of that blog, put a hyperlink in there and let them go and see it, because then you're linked into her social media traffic. Okay? Tricks and tips. Right. Things to do. Consider the user experience, not your preferences or your interests. Think about the other person, okay? While you're writing your social media content, your SEO, talk to their points of pain, not yours, okay? I'm going to get into a checklist now. What is my time looking like? Okay, I'm going to have to be quick. Rewrite old content, refresh it, repost it, and make sure your updated descriptions and titles. This is all SEO orientated, okay? So make sure that your languaging is current. Check your website regularly. Check where your language is. Are you using the right terminology? Specifically, if you're in technology-based businesses, you know, technology moves so fast. If you don't have the right words there, you're going to lose points, okay? So check regularly. These are the kind of things that work really well to shift your SEO. Tip sheets, to-dos, top 10s, trends, 5 ways, formula for change, 6 steps. Short and punchy, okay? Dedicate time to blogging, more or less 600 words with links and external research notation. Infographics, videos, and downloads. Use the correct names, the addresses, and phone number across all platforms. When you tag your photographs, do not just randomly call them something. Call them what it is, where it is, who it is, because those are search engine tools, and that's what a meta tag is. And why is it important? The meta tag is a description of something, is a snippet of up to 155 characters, a tag in HTML, which summarizes a page's content. Search engines show it in search results, mostly when the search for phrase is within the description. So optimizing it is crucial for on-page SEO. So if you search for something like a business resource, you might land on a business coach's page, but the link that's going to come up on Google is going to be their resources page. So you, as that person, you need to meta tag that page properly, that it's not just the random front page information, because the person's actually searching for resources. So biggest tip here, get inside the person's head. Don't look at it from your perspective. Think about how they are searching for information. Its purpose is simple. This is the meta tag. It needs to get someone searching on Google to click your link. In other words, meta descriptions are there to generate click-throughs from search engines. Google uses click-through rates as a way of working out whether you're a good result. If more people click on your result, Google considers you to be a good result and will, based on your position, move you up the rankings. How to write a good meta tag. Keep it up to 155 characters. Use active voice and make it actionable. Include a call to action. Call to action, that's like the biggest thing. Use your focus keywords. Show specifications where possible. Make sure it matches the content of the page and make it unique. Here's a link that can help you with that. Examples of good meta tags. It's very simple and easy to understand what they're doing here. Puppy training schedule, what to teach puppies and when. A month before training schedule, etc., etc. Decorating ideas, home decor ideas, you will get exactly what you're looking for. Academy Awards, Wikipedia. Those are great. Those are great meta tags. These are terrible ones. Watches of Switzerland, luxury watches, designer Swiss watch shop. We use cookies to improve your experience and help to understand. So you see, the person didn't take the time to go and fill out that information. There's a second one. It says it's 34 gifts for people who love to travel. And then it says, yes, traveling often means amazing food for far off places, but sometimes it also means bland ass food. What is that? It's just, okay, I'm not going to read that. It sounds like a blog. It's not a description of a product. There's our meta description test, Spotibo blog. They just did nothing over there. So think about these things and Google them. Go and take that link on your website, or Google yourself, Google your products, Google your competitors. Very quickly, I'm going to touch on storytelling. I want to play you a short video.
So what do we actually mean when we talk about storytelling in design and advertising? Simply put, it's putting your creative work in a structure that has a beginning, middle, and end, just like a story, but making that story as compelling and truthful, just as you would in filmmaking.
My name is Jim. My name is Otto. Pleased to meet you, Otto.
You think of every interaction and piece of work as another chapter in that story. Get it right, and it will elevate your brand above others by making your work memorable in an emotional way. For me, storytelling is key for any sort of communication. It makes a campaign richer. It helps you understand what a brand stands for. It builds a relationship between a customer and that brand. It brings more value to an idea, moving it on from a concept and lifting it up to another level where it can be a better connect with the right customers. Storytelling creates interest and intrigue. It makes the user and the customer much more engaged, and it makes your message much more memorable. There's a study that says that stories are 22 times more memorable than just facts alone. So that makes stories obviously a great idea to start communicating to people. But it's not just about remembering the brand. It's about fostering an emotional connection with your audience. If you're true to your word and the product and the brand live by that word, then customers will be loyal. You only have to look at a brand such as John Lewis to see that. Robert McKee says, when a society repeatedly experiences glossy, hollowed out pseudo stories, it degenerates. And the point he's making here is that we can't just put filler in. We need to be making something that's sincere and has got substance, something we believe in.
Okay, so if you look at that, okay, so if you look at the standard figure of elements of personal communication, I'm talking in person. Look at how much your body language plays a role, 55%. Okay, we think it's just the spoken word. It's not just the spoken word. That's only 7%. The other 38% is your voice, how you use the tone of it. You can tell somebody you love them, but you're shouting at them. Have you ever tried? I've tried it with my dog. I'm going to be really honest to test this area out. I know she's a dog, but shout at her and tell her that you love her. She will run away. And people are actually the same. So how we speak, how we carry ourselves across, the small, tiny word that comes out your mouth is the smallest part. So the next question I ask you is, how then do you lose all your voice and your tone and your body language when you go onto digital? You're literally dealing with spoken words. So how then do you translate this into a printed black and white or video version of where you are communicating with customers? 7% is written words, 38% of the tone of the written words. Now, thank goodness we have emojis, and it's becoming more and more popular, even on a corporate level, to use emojis in your social media marketing. I would actually strongly advise it. Use it. Your click-through rates are much better when you use emojis, and make sure they're relevant and make sure they know what they mean. But the other 55% is storytelling. And in other words, you need to be sharing your information in a way that it speaks to somebody else's pain. Okay? They don't always have to have pain, but their perspective. When you're saying me, I'm my, then you're gonna run into problems. I'm going to go through a checklist with you shortly, and I'm going to speak about all these points in there with you. So keep this in mind, just so that you can get a perspective of where you could possibly be going wrong and where you can improve in future. And here we have the marketing checklist. I see there is a lot of questions as well. I'm going to make some time at the end to address them if they are still relevant to where we are then. First up is narcissistic marketing, which is exactly what I just said now, okay? What are their points of pain? When you're advertising and you're saying, me, I do this, I sell that, I've done this, I've got this award, it is narcissistic, and people are at a point where they don't want to hear it. What you do want to do is focus into their res, and I'm not saying don't write your copy around that, because it's difficult to swing that programming, let's call it, from many years of writing social content or marketing in that sort of space. So what I would suggest is write what it is you have to sell, whether it's your services or whatever, and swing it around so that it's about them. Are you experiencing this? Do you need an answer for that? So then it's about them and it's not about you. And then you can use the AIDA principle, which you learned about last week, and offer the solution at the end, and then give them a call to action. Somebody wrote a question here on call to actions. Every single time you seal a piece of information that goes out, call to action. I'm going to address this now, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So replace the me's and the I's and the my's with the you's and the yours, and be a problem solver. Think about their problems. What are your customers dealing with? And speak to those problems. Don't be a narcissistic marketing. Don't talk about you and what you can do for them. Think about where they're at, what their problem is, and how you can speak to their problems and how you can offer a solution. Okay, number 2. This might seem like a catch-22 situation, because you've got to market your product and your service, or wait, you should rather be marketing your product and your service instead of yourself. It depends what you do, okay? But let's assume you're marketing a product. Once again, how do you sell this product without actually talking about it? Okay, because now it's a bit of a catch-22 situations. You've just told us, don't talk about me, my products and my stuff, but how do you actually do that? One of the best way to do it is to get testimonials. And this is relevant to somebody else's question in the group here as well. Get somebody else to say it for you and tell it in a story. So if you've got a customer that you know had an amazing experience using your product, say to them, please, why don't you just shoot a little video, even if it is a little Instagram, it's a short little video with your phone, and you're sitting on the couch with your family or whatever it is, and say, we had this situation going on in our lives, and then we found this product and our lives changed. We have more time together as a family, or I saved so much money I could pay for extra things in the month. That's a testimonial. That's also storytelling. And there's the 3 problems actually solved in one. Okay. Number 3, pricing. I see a lot of people don't put their prices in there because they think it's going to deter people. It absolutely deters them when you don't. They will just bounce, you will lose them, and it is not a good thing to do. You don't have to do retail marketing per se, but just make sure at some point in the process of your content, okay, if you get them to your final place, which is your shop, make sure there's pricing on there if there is products that you are selling. If it is a service, maybe there's a price list that they can download. Use those downloads as an opportunity to gather a database. Get their emails. So think about closing the loop all the time. Okay. Call to actions. What is your value offering, firstly? And what do you want from them in return? I feel, and I see a lot of people put a lot of information out on social media and digital marketing across their blogs, across their websites, everything, and they never get anything in return. And what you want in return is their information. You want their personal information so that you can build sales funnels, so you can retarget your information, so you can create top of head awareness. Like you'll see, this was just a campaign. We tell them what we'd like them to do. We ask them how they would get involved. If they would like to get involved, feel free to download. So download the campaign artwork now. These click-through links, when you see these click-through things, you need to have them throughout your website. So think about the different tactics that you can use to do that. Telephone number, email address, link click, sign up buttons, download here, book an appointment. So always look, whatever you do, what are you getting them to do? Where is the next point you are getting them to land? Okay. Next one, look at the attention to detail. We're opening at 3 a.m. on Black Friday. Imagine more snacks than you can imagine. Check again. And I made this terrible mistake. I once put out a printed item that had 2 words on it, of which one was spelled wrong. I mean, really, how do you get that wrong? So even the best of us can make the mistakes. We're not stupid. We're just human. And eventually you get to a point you can't see the trees for the woods anymore. This year, if you don't know what it is, there's a small thing missing. It's an apostrophe S. I mean, there's an apostrophe here. We are opening at 3 a.m. This is Dunkin' Donuts. It's a global brand. How can you be making spelling mistakes? And then you're telling people you're a professional company. So make sure that you don't make mistakes. Look at the attention to detail. The dates, if you run events and you're having a meeting with people and it's new customers and you put advertising out, check your telephone numbers. Go and put that flyer in front of somebody else. Ask them to dial the numbers. Ask them to send the email address. Ask them to visit the website and check that they are correct. Missing information to book a meeting with you or something like that, or the link is broken. Go and check these things over and over to make sure they're working. Make sure the links between your tactics, they were talking in the Google SERP ranking system, correct links. You have to go constantly and check all your links through your website, through your social media. If you linking to an external article and the article vanishes, rather in a year's time, if it's not working, delete it. Okay? Stay current. Look at this ad. I think this is such a lovely example. This ad is an ad that was done a couple of years ago. This ad was done in the 70s, and they did a good job of actually highlighting the fact of how far Lego has come in the last few years. Look at digital trends and frequency of posting. Use the language and the style that is current to where you are, your age group, your target market, the imagery, your colors. I mean, this was very 1970s, and this is a whole lot more 2000s. And I think, as I say, they've done a great job. But make sure your ad, the reason why I actually put this here in the beginning was make sure your ad doesn't look like this, because if your target market isn't 90-year-old grannies, you lost them. Okay, this is a big one, building a database. Now, I don't know how many of you have even thought about this, but if you want to market successfully on a digital space, you need to build a database. That's the bottom line. If you haven't got a CRM yet, go to Recapture or Capterra and do some research. Okay, look at what options there are on CRMs. Now, CRM is now I can never remember that abbreviation. If somebody can please put it in the comments box, I'll appreciate it. But ultimately, it's the place where you gather all the information of the people, your prospects, your suspects, your customers, and everybody in that database, so you can communicate with them. You can send them newsletters, you can send them specials, you can send them opportunities for exclusive offers. So with the database, when you're doing that successfully, you should be also webinars, etc., quick video series, social media, lead generation campaigns. So if you are employing social media lead generation campaigns, we can talk about that at another time as well, because that is a powerful little tool. And but it once again depends on your target market and your product. Check and clean your database regularly, because if you, specifically with the POPI Act that's now literally in full force over the last month or so, we need to look after people's data and make sure it is not compromised and not outdated. And also, if your database is not clean and functioning properly, there's a high chance they bounce. There's a high chance people mark them as spam. Amazes me. People will sign up with something today, and 3 months later, they tell you you're spamming them. It happens. But nonetheless, just deal with that and make sure your database is clean. Okay, so consider I see there are hands up here. I'm going to take some questions and answers shortly. I just want to quickly get through everything. Consider the entire experience, okay? screenshot and print out your campaign and look at the different journey of this piece ties into this piece and this piece ties into this piece, and how does it all check together? How does your storytelling work in your whole campaign? Here you're talking about, and I'm going to use this example, guys. You don't go to a restaurant and go and ask a girl that you think is super hot, hey, marry me. You're never going to do that. First, you're going to talk to her, see if she's actually nice. Does she have a squeaky voice? Do you want to continue speaking to her? Maybe take her number, go and have a coffee date. Maybe then it will develop to supper, maybe some more, maybe movies, maybe her parents, and maybe one day the ring. But you don't go up to, because she'll probably slap you. The same thing applies here. I see this all the time, and I'm using such an explicit example because this is what people do. They go into a marketing environment and they pitch marriage before they've even said, hello, what is your name and how are you and where do you live and what's your business like? And okay, you got me. So experience, or consider the experience that a person experiences as they go through the journey. If you set up a funnel that you respond to a social media link that somehow sends me to a page on your Facebook that then sends me to your newsletter, that exposes me to that data, that it invites me to a series, and then eventually sells me something that's like a premium quality price tag that's very expensive. And how long does that take? Okay, congruent language. Once again, that's just reiterating what I said, that it makes sense to them and it appeals to them. Integrated tactics. And as I said, use different tactics, videos, blog, website, social, WhatsApp. Imagine, see this frog jumping from one lily pad to the other. How do they all connect? It mustn't just stop there. It mustn't just stop and that's the end of it and you've shared information. What is the call to action? Where's the next step they're going? And where do you eventually close the loop with the frog? Okay. And it's all about the money. This is the sad thing. I'm literally on my last point here, my second last point. But a lot of people think social media is cheap marketing. It's not. It's possibly more cheap than the middle page spread of the Sunday Times. But a lot of people say, I want 10 sales this month, and they put 10 posts up, and then they say, my social media isn't working. But you need to look at your conversion funnel. If you want 10 sales for the month, then you need to say, but I need to market to 200,000 people. I need 200,000 impressions. And out of those impressions, how many click-throughs do I get? And from that click-through, how many signups do I get? And from there, how many sales? So you need to work through that process and test and measure that so that you can figure out how many times you need to market and to how many people. There's some more examples of different funnels. On a coaching level, you can have massive exposure with very little conversion, but that's just the nature of the beast. It's not that you're doing it wrong, okay? And once again, test and measure. Test and measure. Digital marketing, the beauty of it is you don't have to spend millions and millions on your marketing and you don't know if it worked or not, and they didn't like the guy's squeaky voice in your ads. You can start a campaign and test and measure through the process. And when you don't like it, you can shut it off if you see it's not working. But double blind test, A/B measuring, and see, same ad, same email, 2 different headings, different pictures can have massively different results with just the same content, but a very small tweak right up front. So that's what I have to share with you guys. And I just want to leave you with this. People do not buy goods and services. They buy relations, stories, and magic. Remember that. They want to have a relationship with you. Thank you, everybody. I had a great day talking to you.
All right.
On to questions or?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Jermaine. Thank you very much. Guys, I'm not sure how you're feeling right now, but you know what? I'm sitting there, and as you know, those who, let's say, for example, those who actually follow me on your, social medias, those who know me, I'm a man, I don't beat around the bush. I say it as it is. So I think a lot of you have been sitting there and you actually realize that, you know what, you thought you knew this. You actually don't know much. That's why it's not working for you, isn't it? So today, this should change your trajectory. This should change how you see things. This should change how you do your digital marketing. Now, it's time for questions. But just before we take your questions that you've been putting on the chat box, I've got a question for you. All right. Are you ready? Are you listening? Now, what we have seen is that, as Charmaine has said, this webinar, first of all, the time is not enough. Listen to this, listen carefully. You know, President Zuma would say that after he's trying to say numbers, and then say, listen carefully. Now, if I had to tell you right now that, okay, here's me, here's Charmaine, we are going to spend a full Saturday and a full Sunday with you as a business owner. And what will we be doing? We will be giving you digital marketing, for example. Okay. So now, from Action Coach point of view, as you know, I've got over 300 and something strategies that we can actually teach you and show you how to go about your marketing in any business that you're in. That's number one. Number two, that coupled with digital marketing. So I'll show you the strategy, I'll present them to you, and then Charmaine will be there for full 2 days to actually help you how to create your digital marketing plan, you know, your social media content, everything. And then you live with a package where your business is concerned. You have done that. You've got a marketing plan for your business. You've got a digital marketing plan for your business. You've got a social calendar for your business, or the social content calendar for your business. Now I'm asking you right now, type in that chat box. This is specially for you. We've got our other clients. If we had to spend 2 days with you and you come out with that, how much money are you willing to spend on that? Quickly type before we start dealing with your questions. I just want to see something. How much money are you willing to spend if you spend 2 days with me and Charmaine? Okay. And write the money that you'll take out of your pocket. Okay. And remember, this is all about your business. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of answers coming, 10,000, 6,000, thousands. Okay. No, keep typing 10,000. Yeah, I like it. Keep typing the numbers and stuff. Okay. So while you are doing that, Charmaine, as you can see, they are making 15,000. Yeah, they are making their offer. We'd like to help you guys. Look, to tell you, for example, I don't need to do that. Charmaine doesn't need to do that. We don't even do it for, you know, but we've realized, and this is a big demand, even from our own clients. So, which is something that we'll be doing. So just be aware. So when you see the advert, you decide 9,000. Okay, cool. So you somehow put that money in the bank that you are busy putting in here, and then we'll send you an invite, and then you can take your business to the next level. Okay. Now, Charmaine, we've got a few questions here that I'd like you to answer. Let me do this. Okay, I've got them in here. Okay, I'm going to answer the first question, and then other ones, because it's more digital marketing, I'd like to give it more to you to give to our guys. There's a question that came here from Tiseto who says, how to build a raving fan when you don't have much capital in the business? Now, I think what needs to happen as well, guys, after this webinar, we will put, I think there's about 15 or 10 minutes. There's a keynote I make about the game plan in business. One of them is mindset. Now, it's mindset, obviously, that is preceded by knowledge, you know. But let me just quickly answer this one, Charmaine, and then I'll give over to you for the other questions. Somebody's speaking about capital. You cannot create raving fans when you don't have capital. What are raving fans, first of all? How do you create them? Whether you have capital or not, you can create them. One of the things, this boils down, going back to say, for you to be in business, you think business is all about what? You need to have money. No, you go into business to make money. You need money to go into business, not yes and no. If you don't have it, you can still go into business. If you have it, yes, you can still go into it. I mean, it's as simple as that. So in terms of the capital, it is a lie that you can create you cannot create raving fans if you do not have capital. What capital are you talking about? You've got human capital. You've got you. You can market, you can look after the customers. That one customer that can give you more customers. Remember, when it's a raving fan, this is like referral, word to mouth, you know, or word of mouth, that you can easily get customers to actually come into your business. So if other people say it takes money to make money, but the great people and who made money, who can prove it, I'm one of them. It takes this to make money. So sometimes our mindset, I think it's a mindset issue, whereby you think for you to be in business, you need capital. It's not true. Yes and no. Either way, you've got an option. Whether you have it, you can still make it. If you don't have it, you can still make it. This is where you start making use of your brain. You put the resources together, you put your contacts together, you put your connections together, and that will get going. So I just wanted to say there, so from that question, it is a mindset issue. And you are welcome. Connect with me anywhere. I will sit with you for 10 minutes and change that mindset and show you exactly that. People like us who grew up in one-room shacks and stuff, today we are self-made multimillionaires. It is not because of, it had nothing to do with money. So I think I would like to help you there. That is my passion. I want to help people like you who come from nowhere to get somewhere. Anyways, with that being said, Charmaine, we've got a question here from Jethro.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got hundreds of questions. So the one that we have picked, the question here is, what do you think is the biggest challenge in? Okay, are you with me, Charmaine?
Yes. And what is the biggest challenge?
What do you think is the biggest challenge in digital? Yes.
And how are you addressing it?
Addressing it?
Jethro, I think that this question changes all the time, or the problem changes all the time. You know, 1 week it can be this, and next 6 months it's this. But what I am seeing that's emerging more and more, which was literally the last point I made, which is kind of answering another question as well, is that people viewed it as the cheapest option to go and market. And the problem is that they don't understand what it's for. It's not a newspaper print ad that's now going on a digital screen. It is a different platform. And I think the problem is people don't understand the purpose of what it is. The beauty of it is, like I said, it's like that closed environment situation where you can talk to your brother about where did he buy his car, what was the salesman like, and how did he handle you, and he'll give you, phone him through me and you'll get a good deal. You know, it's the word of mouth opportunity, and to really view it from that perspective, that you can use this platform to interact with people personally. And it's all about the interaction. The biggest problem is that people broadcast information, and that's very old school marketing. It's not to say it doesn't have a place. I believe in synergy between old school marketing and digital marketing, but to understand the difference of what they are and why you use them differently. So for me, if I have to put it in a nutshell as well, I will also say call to actions, because if you understand that you're there for the purpose of communicating, you will always have a call to action. If you're having a conversation with somebody, you won't just broadcast at them, you'll ask them questions and you'll wait for them to talk back to you and then reply and agree. So a two-way conversation is the biggest problem that I don't see on social media from a business point of view, that I think customer or clients, businesses really need to grasp. They need to have a call to action, whatever they do, even if it's a link to go and view my video or share this with your other friends, or go and look at my website and book a link with me, or book a discussion with me, or click through and see our specials for today. Use this code now and gain 10% off. Those are all call to actions. So start analyzing what you're reading and say, look at the structure, There's always a call to action. What's the interest? What's the attention? What's the interest? What's the desire? And what's the action? ADA. Okay. There's a second one here as well. In the digital marketing space, is PPC better than organic reach? Can I answer that, Dr. Peter?
Yes, please, Shami, go for it.
Okay,
yes,
just to clarify, PPC is pay per click. Okay, so that's paid advertising. You know, I in the past, people would have said no, organic is better. But I think you need to find the balance. You can't just buy customers, because then they tend to really be inauthentic. So these days, they are closing down the opportunities for free marketing on different platforms. Even Facebook recently, iPhone changed their iOS rules that we are not as exposed, Apple users, to as much advertising as other Android phones on Facebook, because Apple set those rules in place. So you have to pay to play, unfortunately. And it as I said in my last slide, I think I might have even answered your question. You need to look at your conversion funnel bottom up. So how many do you need to convert? And according to your test and measure, how many impressions are you exposing to? And then you need to check your communication as to whether it's effective communication. So yeah, I think it's a balancing act between the two. Next.
All right. Thank you very much, Charmaine. Did you hear that one? Just before we go to the next, I like it. Guys, this to stick. You need to pay to play. Some of you guys make money, you have a marketing, you don't even have a marketing plan, or you have a marketing plan that is got zero budget. You say, I want to acquire customers, I want to have customers who come to pay, but you're not willing to even spend a cent on it, and yet you're making money. Again, mindset issue. But there is just something, I mean, before we go to the next question that I want to mention here. My people, remember one thing, and even the Bible says that, seek first the knowledge. We are not going to social media, digital marketing, just seek first the knowledge and do it. You want to know how to do Facebook ads, seek first the knowledge and do it. Seek first the knowledge and do it. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. I mean, these are Christian principles. This is science. That's how it is. Seek first the knowledge. All right. Okay. Pay to play. I think that is my biggest BS for the day. Okay. Now, Charmaine, next one that I'd like you to answer, which I think is very important, you know, is the one from Zinkita. She's asking, what is the best time to post on social media? I think this one we can actually generalize because I think it's very important. People think you just wake up and you post. So how does that work with the timing of posting?
Okay, so like I showed you in my presentation right at the front, okay? As I said, I will be sharing my slides so you can actually look at the screenshots. It depends what you're doing. So for example, on email marketing, the standard go-to for a very long time was 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. That's the right time to send your email campaigns out. However, that's shifting and it's becoming more open that you can also try. Thursdays are also good, but it's also very relevant to what you do and when you do it. For a very long time when I was, okay, so that's email marketing. I'm jumping around a bit, but let's say Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we don't post on the weekends because people, and December time proved itself because we had a massive drop off in LinkedIn in December. Nobody was active on there because, you know, generally job seekers are busy on LinkedIn. But then YouTube got very busy because maybe they weren't lying on the beach this December. They normally would be, but they will have more times to watch video and to get the information they do. So from a day perspective and a month perspective, it varies. From a time perspective on a daily basis, you'll see if you schedule your social media, over the years, it's changed a lot. At one point, it was literally when people woke up, like anything between 5 to maybe 6:30, and then again 9:30, 10 at night. And I'm talking general information. And then it shifted to more sort of normal hours, 7:30 to 8:30, because you might all remember you working in the beginning and, oh, you weren't allowed on Facebook. Now people are working on Facebook. They're running their businesses on Facebook. They're there. It's more acceptable to be there. So their hours were more normal. Then they started multitasking, watching TV and using social media at the same time. And the interesting thing I found when I was with ActionCOACH dealing mostly with entrepreneurs, and this I'm curious to know from you people, was they seem to be online at 11 in the morning and at 11 at night. So I was picking up that either these people they only start working on their emails and stuff at 11 at night or looking at their social media, or they've only now had time to literally chill and look at their Facebook. So in the morning, it seems they've instructed their staff, they've got everything going as to what needs to go, the emails, the business, and now they've got a little bit of time to fill information. But you need to look at your scheduling profile. That's why we use the dashboard. It creates insights and it measures for you, and go look at your dashboard on Facebook, etc. See what times your dashboards are telling you. When are your people most busy? I would have never thought they would be 11 at 11. Only through the insights that I got out of my social media did I realize, okay, these people are a different kettle of fish. So you've got to monitor it individually. Our panel, even on dashboard, on Hootsuite, for example, the times differ on different days. Some days it's 9:41, other days it's 10:15, other days it's 7 a.m. So you must monitor. That's why we monitor, so you can fine tune to find your hotspot.
All right. Thank you very much, Charmaine. I think from that, guys, you can actually realize that what you've just done here, this is just not even a tip of an iceberg. The whole point here is that people who know this in totality, people who understand, who make a plan from this knowledge, and you understand it, I would say fully, or you make a proper plan out of it. This is the only time it works. Just now, you actually had a tip of an iceberg. You have an idea of how it goes, but it takes a whole lot of knowledge, more learning, more practice. Even some small things that we learn. If you look at the questions that everyone has asked, they're still asking the questions of things that have already been addressed. It just gets to show you, you need a sit down. You actually need to do this. So you can prepare yourself. We will give you the date when we will spend the weekend with you guys. You can join our other clients already who have, trust me, who came and they paid the money and they want to spend time with us so that we can show them how to do this. So you can do that. We have given you the information. We've shown you how it's done. So you can do that. Just the last one. I see we've got a name, we've got a hand of Kananelo Dolo. I can tell you right now, I know that person. This is one of our alumni of EBL. Doing very well in business. So, Mr. Cool, can we get, okay, the last question before we go back to you to reward you guys for attending the webinar. Can you bring up Kananelo? We will open your video, ask the question that you need to ask. All right.
All right,
Going
Kananelo,
once.
unmute yourself from your side.
Going twice, Kananelo.
It's yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yes,
Can you hear
Kananelo,
me?
welcome. What's your question?
Hello, how are you?
We're good, thanks.
Yes, my question to you would
Go. Yeah, ask the question, Kananelo. We can hear you.
yes, my question to you would then be, I've been a fashion designer for quite some time. So my struggle has always been marketing my products effectively and having just the upkeep and making sure that your products are in line and making sure that you have the right customers. My issue has always been getting the right customers to buy my products and marketing in such a way that I reach the right customers. So I'm nervous. I don't know why. But my question to you would then be, how do I make sure that my marketing is effective and I reach the right people who will buy the actual product that I'm selling?
Okay. I love the fact that you're... Can I answer? Should I go? Okay,
yes,
I love the fact...
You go for it.
I love the fact that you're a fashion designer, Kananelo, because it plays exactly into, it ties into somebody else's message as well as to how to position your product for the right market and do so across both channels, both offline and online. And the fact that you're a fashion designer appeals to me because you can sit down and draw your perfect client, right? What do they look like? How do they dress? What kind of car do they drive? How do they sound? What kind of language do they speak? And there's your brand ambassador, okay? So if you can visualize that person for yourself, which I'm pretty sure you are able to do right now, what kind of language do they speak? Where do they go to? What kind of things do they enjoy? What kind of food do they do? What kind of holidays do they experience? Use those kind of things in your marketing. Look at affiliate marketing. Telling me you're a fashion designer, I'd imagine you spend a lot of time on Instagram. Am I right or wrong? Kananelo? Yes. Okay. So if you look at that, how many people, look at how, if I was you, and I'm just thinking so many people who are got fashion products out there, the best way to do it and actually make money on Instagram, I don't know what your age group is, I'm imagining they're pretty young, is to troll people. This is a tactic, right? Troll people who look like the people that you drew. So now you know who your target market looks like. You know the kind of products they use. You know even to the kind of skin products they'll buy. How much is their earning capacity? Check out their LSM. Go and Google their LSM and see if you can find a breakdown for that, right? And then look for those kind of people on Instagram and follow them and like them. And when you see them posting something that looks like your product will fit in really well there, work them out an affiliate deal, right? And say to them, I love your vibe. I see what you're doing. You're perfect. Would you be interested in my products? Become a brand ambassador for me, and I will discount you 10% or something like that on your next purchase. Here's the link to my website. Once again, don't forget the call to action, and then they can purchase. And every time you feature my products in your stream, I will give you a discount, and encourage them to become a brand ambassador, so that if they share your products on and they bring other people to you, you give them a discount code, right? Or a code, let's say, that they pass on to their friends. So when their friends purchase from you, then they get a kickback, or they get one item free a month. Or it's a complicated process to set up the strategy, but to use those little tactics, I think that you could do miracles with that and send them back to your page. And then also go and follow all your competitors' followers. Don't just follow their followers. I'm talking specifically Instagram now. Go to their most popular likes pages, their posts at least, and that look the most similar to yours, that resonate with your brand, and go and follow those followers. That's a very powerful following strategy to get active people to engage with your brand. Does that help?
All right. Thank you very much, Charmaine. Thank you, Kananelo. We are out of time, but just from that case study over there, you can see exactly what Charmaine was talking about. Strategy. Now I'm saying, if you get to be taught strategies and how to implement, that's how then your business starts working. That's when you can start competing with people who really are making it in the industry. So with that being said, from my side, Charmaine, what a great honor to have hosted you. What a great honor to have you on our webinar. Thank you so much for sharing the knowledge with us. And like I'm saying, probably we'll see some of the guys who will sign up for the marketing bootcamp that we'll be doing, because marketing is very important for your business. It is an oxygen of your business. If you do not have marketing, how are you going to get customers? So with that being said, from our side, on behalf of EBL Institute, MTN, and ActionCOACH, would like to say thank you so much for the knowledge that you've imparted to our entrepreneurs today. And also thank you so much for the recommendation of the book that Mr. Cool is going to be giving away right now, because that is like a marketing Bible, startup, everything. So yeah, from my side, guys, I just want to say, yeah, like I said, thank you, Charmaine. Thank you to the EBL team. Thank you, Mr. Cool, for directing the program, and your technical team behind you guys there in the Central South Africa. We thank you so much. This is me from my main cave here. I just want to say thank you for attending. Last thing that I want to say, next week or next month, we are talking, we spoke about marketing, right? We're going to talk about sales. Remember, even Buzi Tembekwa said, there is one excuse I don't take from an entrepreneur. If you can't sell, don't be an entrepreneur. But a lot of you don't even know how to sell. But some of you are in good relationships. You know how to sell yourself to people, but you don't know how to sell your own products. How interesting is that? See you next month during our webinar where we talk about sales. Now, that's a killer. You've got the marketing and sales, you don't have an excuse. So with that being said, Mr. Cool, over to you. Thank you very much for you and the EBL team. Thank you, guys. See you next month.
Thank you to you too, Coach TP, for the time that you spent with us. And thank you as well, Charmaine, for the session that you had with us. And guys, as I told you, you're in for a treat. Every month, we'll bring you experts to make sure that you get value so that you can get that finished business. So next month, same thing. We'll be discussing another important topic on entrepreneurship. Our social media platforms, connect with us so that you can know exactly what we'll be discussing. So now, just to remind you, the prizes that we're going to give, we're giving the following prizes if you were to look on your screen. So the first prize is 1,000 Rand cash. This goes to the person who's been participating the most in the webinar and also on our YouTube. And then the second one is 500 Rand MTN data. So if you are engaging with us, if you're participating, And also remember, you need to like and follow us on our social media platforms in order to be eligible to win these prizes. So before we send them to you, we're actually going to check whether you connected with us. And the final one is a book voucher by Seth Godin, which is titled, This is Marketing, the book that will be through to you. So please make sure that at the end of this webinar, if you are the winner, share the details with us so that we know exactly where to send your book and where to send your data. The same for the cash prize as well. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and announce the first winner of the day. This is the person who's going to win the book voucher today. So for the book voucher, we're going to have our usual raffle. I hope you can see it. We have a number of names here. All right, this is the lucky person. Let's see. Congratulations to Estelle Oliphant. Congratulations, Estelle. You are going to get the This is Marketing book by Seth Godin or Seth Godin. So congratulations to you. Please share the details with us in the chat box, and also please comment and send it through to our EBL information or communication department so that we can make sure that you get that book. So the second one, the second prize goes to, for the MTN data, the MTN data goes to, all right, so the MTN data, let's see. Okay, so according to the team, based on the participation that we're getting from YouTube and Zoom, the winner of the 500 Rand MTN data is Samkelo Zondi. Congratulations, Samkelo. You are walking away with 500 Rand MTN data. Remember, guys, we're only giving away MTN data as this program is funded by MTN. So MTN is the only network, the yellow network. So congratulations to you, Samkelo. And our grand winner, the person who participated the most, who's going to be walking away with 1,000 Rand cash is, drum roll please. Wait for it. Disetso Malholu. Congratulations to you, Disetso. You have won 1,000 Rand cash for your business. Congratulations to you. The same, please send through your details to us so that we can get your money to you. So congratulations to everyone. And thank you very much for joining us for the session today. Please remember, this is only the third of our 8 series webinar. So we are going to have 5 more experts that are going to talk to you on a monthly basis on different topics that are entrepreneurship related. So please make sure that you connect to us on social media, connect with us on email. You can also call us if you have any entrepreneurship related questions. And again, we'll see you next month. And for those of you who are clients, we'll see you next week. So that's all we have for you today. Have a great week, and we will see you in the next month. Thank you. Have a great one.